Hi, this is Pat McDonald, your host for Banter and Beans, where our tagline is What's Brewing in Montpelier? And joining me in studio is Dr. Pelin Kohn. Welcome, Pelin.
Hi.
Hi. Pelin and I serve on the board of directors here at Orca, but she's also works at community college and is rerunning or running again for a seat on the Montpelier City Council.
Yes.
Not too much going on.
It's a great summary of my life. Yeah, everything is happening and it's a great punchline.
That's great. She's also an author, and I'm going to have you back for a longer show so we can talk about all the things you do. But for now, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and why Montpelier Council?
Yeah, so it's a great start of a discussion. And I always start when I talk about myself, the year I moved here to Montpelier. My family and I moved here in 2017. Oh. And because my husband got a job offer, so he's American. We used to live in Turkey. I'm originally from Turkey. I'm Turkish American, and we used to come to United States every summer. So when we decided to move back, I said, yeah, I can do it. Like, I know everywhere. I was in the United States as a Fulbright scholar during my master's degree, and we were in Ames, Iowa. So I said, of course, my husband's from Chicago. I know Chicago. I can. Then we came here.
A little different than Chicago, huh?
Yeah, and I said, wait a minute. During Fulbright's scholarship, they told us, this is real America. Then when our husband takes me to the Chicago, he said, this is real America. Then I move here. I think this is real America. So there are so many different Americas. Yeah. But I fell in love with Montpelier. Yeah. So first year, I just attended senior center classes because I didn't have a job. Then I had a job at the senior military college, and I taught there and created their leadership program and leadership center. I established both of them. Then now I'm working for community college, and I'm really enjoying being here. When I first moved here, I was sitting in our backyard, and I said, oh my God, this is so peaceful. I cannot do this because I came from a capital of Turkey with 4 million people. Then after a year, I was sitting at the same place and I was thinking, oh my gosh, this is so peaceful. I cannot live anywhere else. And since then, Montpelier is really center of my life. And I became American citizen in 2020.
Great.
And including my family, my friends tell me, okay, now you're an American citizen, but always remember people will see you as an immigrant. So that fact will not change. And I said the same, okay, if I cannot change the fact, let me play with it a little bit. Right. Then I became more interested in how, as an immigrant woman, I can be more part of my community. That's why I decided to run a city council, and I served my first term. Now I am running for a re-election for my second term.
So, and what are the terms? 2 years each?
2 years,
2 years.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. That's great. So you enjoyed it on the council?
Yeah, I do. I like being at the table, having a voice. Because of my education, my background, and I do all this different nonprofit services, I knew that I can bring a lot to the table. But after being on the council, I realized that that's not about me. That's about my community. That's why I started listening session, monthly session for my district residents. And my fellow city council, district to city council, he is also very happy co-hosting this with me. So for over 2 years, every month, we come together with our district 2 residents. We announce it publicly. We also have an email list, so we send announcement to there. And we listen to our neighbors, our friends.
You're in District 2,
yeah,
is that right?
District
now,
2.
is that when you look at Montpelier?
Oh, our district has most like residential density.
Yeah.
So it is just for voting purposes. We have 3 districts in Montpelier. It's just the map. We are all neighbors and residents, but,
Right.
but in terms of voting and serving, then each city councilor belongs to a specific district. And
Right.
we have 3 districts, and each district has 2 city councilors.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
You really picked 2 really great years. I mean, for being new and dealing with the flood, and there were several floods, the big one in the summer, and then 2 sort of, I hate to call them mini, because if you got hit, it's not so
Yeah.
mini. But anyway, just flooding for a long time. What was that impact for you all in the council? You must have been going crazy trying to help people.
Yeah, it was very emotional.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is almost like being a parent or caregiver, right? You have to be there
Yep.
for other people, and you cannot have the luxury of like letting, like you cannot be, okay, I cannot do this. You have to
Right.
be there, strong, and like it is very interesting because when the flood happened, my friends from Burlington, they said, oh, come, we are having a house party. And I said, I cannot come. Montpelier is under the wall. And they said, what? We
Right.
don't have anything here. And I took pictures and they said, oh my gosh, what's happening there?
Yeah.
And we hosted one of our like closest friend because he used to live in downtown in an apartment building. He and like his sweet cat came and stayed with us. And like it was a real kind of, I don't know, I used to watch like American movies, like kind of, I don't want to say it's like end of the world or something.
Right.
After the flood, when all the water went away,
Right.
I was walking around downtown and it looks like that.
Yeah.
Like all
Right,
all
like
the
a
like
war scene or something,
yeah,
right?
all the things are in
Right.
front of the houses, like in front of the stores. It's empty. Nobody was at the downtown, but I felt that I have to see because we still had our city council meetings because it was like a crisis management time.
Well, and the city council, the building got hit big time.
Yes.
I mean, the basement was gone.
Yeah.
And I liked, I was here for the 1991 or 2 flood. I worked for state government. And both my buildings, I was commissioner of personnel. Both the buildings they're just gone. But City Hall got really hit. You couldn't sit in that council room
No,
because
for
it
a
was
long
chock
time, yeah.
full of papers and everything. It was terrible.
Yeah, it
So-
is. So that's another thing we used to tell when people like, oh, can you please do this? And like with the staff and us like, yeah, but we are not in our buildings yet.
Right.
So, but everybody was so helpful, so supportive. And like I have friends from Barrie. Barrie got hit pretty bad
Yes,
too.
they did, yes.
And although we are like together, all the like community support that Montpeliers are getting,
Yep.
some of the towns they couldn't get that much support. So I was really proud of living in Montpelier
Yeah.
and being part of this community because people, I saw them
Yep.
like how hard they work
Yep.
to support each other. High school students, they came and serve and
Yep.
help the volunteers, whatever they do. Like schools, students, families, neighbors, like we were there for each other. So that is very inspiring for me. And then you feel like, oh, I need to do more, like for this community because they are always there for each other.
Yep.
So then you feel like more responsible as a resident or an elected official.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Vermont. I get mad sometimes about the politics and all this, and I go crazy. But then something like this happens, and when I was in the flood back in '91 or 2, I mean, people just come out of the woodwork to help. No questions asked. They just pitch in and help,
Yeah.
and it really makes you feel glad to be here.
Yeah, and
It
also
really is.
like our friend's neighbor, they had a lizard in their apartment flat, and they couldn't take the lizard with them. So next day they went to their apartment building, and there was still water, and they were like walking up
To
to
save the
here.
lizard.
Yeah, and they did.
Oh.
See, it is not only like people are helping
Oh, yeah,
each other.
yeah.
Like we like people were saving their animals.
right.
That's how we are connected
Yep.
to things happening around us. But again, we are not there yet because at the city council, as a city councilor, like with other councilors, we really want to see some kind of flood emergency
Yep.
plan set
Right,
up.
right.
We start, working on it, and there are like other nonprofits and commissions are helping with us. I think the next step should be we should have a very good plan, so we don't have to wait until it happens.
Right,
We need
right.
to be ready, and we cannot change the environment. Like some people say that it is like taking revenge from us. I kind of believe that because we are not very good at with the like environment and everything.
Right.
But at the same time, yeah, we cannot stop it, but we can at least decrease the impacts, like negative impacts. That's why it is so important for me. After the election, if I'm on the like council again, I want to see like a complete emergency, like flood emergency plan.
And it's double important here in Montpelier, I think, because this is the state capital.
Yeah.
And there's a working relationship between Montpelier and the state capital to have access for people. So in the time that we have left, Pelin, what is your, I don't know, what are you running on when people say, what do you want to see change? What are the
Yeah.
things that you're focused on to go back or continue working on what you were working on?
Yeah, so we've started, I am part of the city council that started like, we are talking about creating a better strategic plan because all the challenges, all the crises, not only Montpelier, but like national, state level,
Right.
national level, and also global level, we are having so many things. And sometimes I feel that, oh, this is such a great place to live, and I'm kind of away from all the things happening globally. That's
Not
not
anymore,
true.
right.
That's why we need a very good, clear strategic plan that everybody can understand, and we need to link it to our budget, to our infrastructure problems, to our like economic development, to our like how we can make a more better downtown business for business
Right,
owner, for
right.
residents. So it is very important how we see things. And I want to continue to do that work because we've
Great.
already started. And another thing, we are talking about like how we can create more affordable housing. So
Right.
I've started talking to local nonprofits, like local developers, because if we stay and just like wait for the money coming from other, it will take so much long. And sometimes I talk to people and they are very nice. They say, we want to see there's things happening, but probably we won't be here because we are too old. So we cannot wait 10 or 20 years more.
you gotta do it
and
now.
The best thing is maybe start talking locally, bringing people together. And one of the things I can bring, which I'm already doing, but I can continue doing it, bring people. Because I'm an Emerge graduate, I'm a Vermont Leadership Institute program alumni. I attended global leadership program from World Council on Vermont Council on World Affairs.
Oh,
so
right.
I have so many people who are like current leaders doing so many good things for their town, for the state. And I have those connections, and I just want to bring everyone together.
Right.
And like maybe you also observe this, somehow we still work in our silos. Although we are such a
Yes.
small state,
Yes, we do.
yeah, we still do. Like
Right.
you can reach out to anyone you want. Oh, governor, like
Yeah, right.
oh, like senator, congresswoman. Because we are such a good community, we can do this. But when it is the time to work on issues, everybody goes their rooms or like buildings.
They hunker down.
Yeah,
That's
so
right. You're so right.
Yeah, I just want to bring people together because they are already talking to me. So why not?
Right.
Let's start talking together.
And you should, I think in Montpelier is a great community. We've tried in the state to do exactly what you're talking about. And that's a little different because the state is just huge and everywhere. But here, it's a smaller community. And I was very impressed with the number of people that came out to the first public hearing you had after the flood. I mean, you had, I don't know how many people, standing
Yeah.
room only, and that was very encouraging, and people just wanted to share and wanted,
Exactly.
they just want to talk and get it done.
Yeah.
And I think a strategic plan is critical.
Yeah, and also we share happiness too, right? We are having festivals,
Yeah, right.
like our lighting the bridge thing with the
wasn't that great?
lanterns.
Yeah.
Like it was like so nice, and we are a great community. We share our joy and like sorrow and also emotions together. That's
Right.
really, and that's what another thing. Like I learned here. When I come here, 80,000 people, right? It still seems quite a bit number. Then when you talk about something, you cannot make a gossip because everybody knows
Yeah, right,
everybody.
yes.
Then it creates like a really good
Yeah.
sense of community because you have to support each other.
Right.
You cannot say things like behind people.
I always tell people, say kind things to everybody. 'Cause
Exactly.
you never know who they're related
Yeah.
to, so
And
always be kind.
Yeah, isn't
Yeah.
that nice that
Yeah, it's
everybody
great.
knows everybody? When when we moved here, my kids they were in the 6th grade and 4th grade, and because of this sense of belongingness, I know that when Mom, we will go and walk around downtown with our friends. I feel like yes, you can, because probably one of my friends will see you, right, and then they
Right.
will support you and protect you. That's why
Right.
I'm really happy being
That's
here and living here, because I know that wherever you are coming from, whatever your background is, whatever you want to achieve, there is always people who can support you in Montpelier.
That's really great.
Yeah.
So I think you're absolutely right that people here, and you know what I noticed when I was doing the interviews for the businesses? They support each other. They may be in competition with each other, but that doesn't matter. They help each other out, and so that community is tight. And I was very impressed with that because they just know each other and they call around for help. So it's a great place to be.
Yeah, when I'm running for my first term, people are asking, oh, what kind of leadership you want to see? And I said, like, collective.
Yeah.
Because that's what we need. Like, there lots of things happen in terms of leadership, and I used to teach leadership, right? I used to educate and raise like future leaders, and I've seen that like I don't know what happened, but like suddenly we created this like, oh, great person, great leaders, like they do everything alone. We created this like persona, and after moving here, because all the things you mentioned, oh my God, like that's like a collective living, collective leadership.
Right.
And I'm very happy to see it at the city council. And although like we serve different districts, in the end, everybody is there to serve for Montpelier. This is very powerful. And some people say, oh, isn't it like difficult? Yeah, it is difficult because I'm working full time. I have like 2 teenagers, and I don't want to go in that like dealing with.
Yeah,
and some people, how do you think you can survive at city council? I've raised 2 teenagers. Like,
Really?
if I can,
Piece of cake.
yeah, if I can like communicate with them, yeah. But not only putting hours to this, I put my heart because that's like so important to me to represent like 3% of Montpelier population who are like me.
Right.
They were born outside of United States, but now they are Montpelier residents. And like, if they see someone like themselves, and also as a woman, right? It is very important, woman being there, because what happens when the political climate change, when the leadership style change, suddenly the like easiest target is women, right? They come after us, so we have to be there and we have to support each other too. So it is not only like personal things, but I feel that I have kind of a social duty to be there and just be kind of an example for other women, other immigrant women like me, so they know that, okay, we have a place at the table.
You know, you were talking, I was thinking about what you said about, your friend said they will always look at you as I think it's not anything derogatory. I think it's more curiosity because Vermont's sort of very vanilla. And for somebody to come from some other country, like I ask my friend Isla all the time about the food and the culture, it's just curiosity and a fascination. Isn't that? I hope that's what you're getting from people. That it's not,
like it
oh,
is
you're
like
foreign.
so welcoming.
Yeah.
That's why another reason I want to make it more inclusive, because I felt that.
Yeah.
I felt that welcoming feeling. I felt that like, oh yeah, I can be part of this community.
Yeah.
Because I could have chosen another path, like go to my work, come to home, like enjoy the weather, go out for a walk, ski. But because Montpelier offered me a home,
Right.
and after this like re-election campaign, I'm grateful to my volunteer team. We came together because I didn't do anything. They said, "Do you want help us?" Because we have been
great.
like following you, and we know how much you work. And I am now surrounded like such a wonderful people, and
Nice.
it's organic. Like it just happened, and like. How can I not be part of Montpelier more? Because like being immigrant, as you said, it's not a bad thing for me. It's like people welcome me. Then I said, okay, how can I use this experience to give more? Because Montpelier gave me a home, and now because of my re-election, I have a family. I don't want to cry, but I feel so blessed.
Yeah.
Now I have a family, and I am planning to keep that family after the election, because they are now my friends, and like they work so like, sometimes like because I'm working full time, we will do it. Don't worry, we will just like go and put the door hangers. We will just do it for you. Who does this to another person? That's why I call them my family, Montpelier family. And another thing, like I wrote a book. It's called like Beyond the Suitcase, and I talk about my experience as an immigrant woman and how much it improved my resiliency.
Great. That's
Because
I should tell people they should go on. I think it's LinkedIn. You have so many articles.
Yeah, I'm right.
I was reading them very late last night. Fabulous.
Thank you.
Really, and leadership. I mean, it's really. If I was just talking to another gentleman this afternoon, and I think our governor thinks that if you have leadership skills and management skills, you can go anywhere as long as you've got those skills. No matter what the environment is, you can do well.
Yeah,
and that could apply at city council and apply at work and.
Yeah, sometimes I'm invited to talk to like a younger woman, and I tell them like, whatever you do, get education.
Yeah.
If I'm here today talking to you, it is because of my education. Like, and I got my education in Turkey. It doesn't matter where you get it. Education is education.
Yeah.
So that's very important. So whoever thinks that, I think there's like kind of a trend now. I will not go to college. I think for young women, they need to. They can do anything they want, but they need to have education, because if I'm here today talking with you, it's because of my education. So that's it. Like all the skills I gain because I have been working with leaders and I have been teaching to them. I'm learning from them. So it really created this idea of who I am as a leader. And moving here, it really changed everything. I have to reinvent it myself. I go to like some of the like leadership trainings. Like I'm kind of a forever student person. I don't know why. And then people are saying, okay, let's talk about personal leadership. How about like leaving your comfort zone? And I'm just thinking, what comfort zone? For last 7 years.
That's what I do.
I don't have a comfort zone. Like here is really like leaving my comfort zone, right? Being serving on a city council, it's leaving my comfort zone.
That's great.
Teaching in my second language to the Native Americans, like it's leaving my comfort zone. And sometimes if you ask me, do I really look for my comfort zone? Sometimes yes. But
Sure.
most of the time, I am grateful that I ended up here doing all these things, because I think I need to see that how much I could do, not only myself, but all the people
Right.
around me. And when I was doing my first election, my daughter was like, oh my mom, you will go and knock doors, and like, oh my God. And she was coming with me, right, because I need to collect signatures, and she
Yep.
was like doing like that, like lying down.
And how old is she?
She's like 60, like,
Oh,
and now she's
wow.
18,
Good-
but by then,
good
and
for
I
her.
understand. But then now I'm thinking, I think she learned something. Like, yeah, it was like weird for a
Right.
teenager, but when she sees me doing that,
Yep.
I think it's a good thing for her
Yeah,
and for her
You can learn
generation.
people are very nice. When you knock on their door,
Yeah.
I ran for the legislature. I was in for 2 sessions, and you're knocking on doors, and people are always very welcoming. You think in the back of your head what could
Yeah.
be, but
Yeah, they
never
are.
once did I have any problem.
They are, yeah.
They want to learn from you what you will give to them.
Exactly, yeah.
So what do you think, looking at Montpelier, and once we get everybody hopefully back on track and standing on their own 2 feet and being successful again? I think, well, you mentioned the lights, Montpelier Alive.
Yeah, they are doing
I
a
think
great
they need
job.
to raise a statue to that woman. Katie Charles has
Yeah.
done an amazing job.
Yeah, she does.
But there's a vibe in this city that needs to continue. And what would you be looking for the council to do going forward?
Yeah, I think for next couple years, I'm assuming like 5 years will be still challenging, because we haven't seen the floods like sociological effects yet. We have seen the economic effects. We've seen like social effects, but not the psychological. And like, I'm talking so many people who lost their job because of the flood, and they live in Montpelier, and like, we are talking about resiliency for like businesses, for our town infrastructure, and we are not talking about resiliency for people because they cannot find jobs yet.
Wow.
So how about, like, that's one of the things I'm sharing with people, how about creating some kind of program for them so they can have their job or like similar job
Right,
back, because
right.
we don't talk about people's side, right?
And
we
the
talk
kids
about,
especially. So I was
Exactly.
just thinking the impact of COVID on the kids. You're probably right. We haven't seen it all yet. And then having that plus the flood and the kids losing everything
Yeah.
in 10 minutes, it's all gone.
yeah, that's why I kind of want to see what city council does. Like, when we make a decision, I just want to see that we have a plan before making the decision.
Right?
Then we should be ready when we act based on our decision.
Yeah.
So that's I think I want to see what city council should do, and I think it is happening.
Well, I think there's a lot of resources around on the federal level and state level to help municipalities try to put things together, because you need the plan, and you need to make sure when something happens and the phone rings, you kick into gear.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
That's great. So I know you've lost your city manager, and you're going to be looking for a city manager around June or July. What are you looking for in a city manager? What has the council talked about that? About skills?
Yeah, we haven't talked about yet because we are still in the process of all the legal things we
Yeah,
are
right.
doing. But what we are planning to do, we want to have public input first.
Oh, excellent idea.
So what people want to see,
Right.
with skills, with competencies, which like experiences, then we want to, again, I don't want to talk on behalf of the city council, but I want to see like maybe working with an HR company and like
Yeah.
creating very clear and transparent steps.
Excellent.
And like announcing it, okay, this is the public input, this is the professional view, now bring them together, create a job description, create a,
Right.
like an ad, then like create like recruitment committees from stakeholders, from residents, from business owners, and then
That's
like
great.
have interviews, then I think Montpelier should decide for their
Yeah.
next city manager
Excellent.
who will be part of our family,
Oh,
right?
for sure. And it's a 24/7 job,
Yeah,
that's for
it
sure.
is. Yeah.
I wonder how people realize that when they take that job.
Yeah,
It's-
that's why, I think it is very important. I just thank Bill, like in our last special session for his
Right.
commitment and service.
Yeah.
Because as you said, it is kind of very having lots of responsibility, like huge responsibility. So yeah.
And it's a very tight community, the city and town administrators, and they work a lot through the League of Cities and Towns.
Yeah.
And they're very tight themselves and help each other out. It's the same here with the businesses. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
So anyway, I wish you a lot of luck.
Thank you.
And I look forward to seeing you back on the council, because I watch on Zoom, which is something so beneficial that we got out of COVID.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I
that's
love Zoom.
using digital tools.
Right.
Because I'm part of like different groups all over the United States and also all over the world.
Yeah.
And I'm working with them. And how can I get that experience if we
Right.
didn't have Zoom, right? So it
That's
was very
I've gotten
nice.
much
Yeah.
better at it too, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much for listening, and I really appreciate it, Pelin. And you say Pelin Kohn.
Kohn, yeah.
Dr. Pelin Kohn, and she'll be on the voting ballot. So there you go. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is Pat McDonald, your host for Banter and Beans, where our tagline is "What is brewing in Montpelier?"